I felt all of her pain.
Devastating, extremely stressful.
I think eating disorders are causing so much destruction, not only for the person who is suffering from the disorder, but for the entire family. The ripple effect is massive.
It was difficult at times for me to sort of maintain my own emotional and mental health because of the impact that her life was having on me.
It was hard to watch that, like somebody that you love go through that. Obviously, I wasn't in it as much as she was, but she's my only sister. I felt like I felt all of her pain when she was going through it.
At the time, I was so immersed in my own struggle. Like, I never thought about what it must be like to be witnessing that.
She'll get over this.
We felt shame about that. What have I done wrong?
Just kept on thinking that she'll get over this. It's just a silly thing she's going through. We found out tragically that it wasn't that way.
I didn't think anything until I started kind of, sneaking in on him and hearing things or listening at the door.
We really didn't want to admit to the fact that our daughter had been admitted to the hospital for an eating disorder, because it's obviously a mental health issue, and you don't want to admit to that.
You hit right between the eyes. Your daughter has anorexia nervosa. We felt shame about that. There's something wrong with our daughter, that, she's not normal. And we have to get over that and past that. An eating disorder is an illness, nothing more, nothing less.
And there was no support for us.
We spent struggling about how best to support.
I was terribly worried about her. I didn't know really how to deal with it because I had never experienced anything like it, and there was no support for us.
Even the notion of talking about the illness with her, we weren't sure whether that's something we should be doing, whether we should follow Elisa's lead in this.
Where I was convinced she was going to die. I couldn't do a thing.
I could see the turmoil.
Somebody told me one time that I had to leave the treatment of her disease up to the professionals, and I just had to be her mom. But then I asked myself, how do I do that? I couldn't do a thing.
It's like watching your child slowly kill themselves.
I didn't know how to deal with it. And I could see the turmoil that my daughter was struggling with. And I could see the struggle that my wife was challenged with as well.
And some of the fury in me is that families are pathologized in a way as though that were the cause of the eating disorder.
Families do not cause eating disorders, period, full stop. That's work that is still ongoing, is to help erase from society's mind the notion that families are to blame.
It's not about me, it's about him.
No one really knows what to do.
There was still a train wreck behind her.
It is all-consuming.
I had to remove myself as being his partner and his wife and everything else like that.
But at the end of the day, you can't do much to help me right now.
It's like this big bully that's in the room. It changes the dynamics in the family. It also can affect people's marriages.
My wife and I frequently differed on the treatment plan and how we would handle different situations, and that put a real stress on our relationship.
I lost friends. That distance that just gets created like that. It's not that I lost friends in the sense that they, I said, oh, I'm dealing with anorexia, and they were like, okay, goodbye. It wasn't like that. It was more, the invitations stopped coming. The phone calls stopped happening. That distance that just gets created like that is difficult to contend with. It's difficult to overcome. And unfortunately, I think what happens is most of the time is that we step back. Instead of withdrawing, if they find out, hey, my friend is dealing with this, that they'll ask questions, that they'll get curious, that they will make it something that can be a point of connection rather than something that drives people apart.